Welcome to CognitionChunks. This information is for entertainment only. I am not trained in philosophy. Is this useful? Is this nonsense? Join me as I attempt to learn from GPT. Here is Eureka! Epics. Understanding the Origins of Philosophy by GPT. Part 3. Philosophy and the World Religions. Chapter 8. Medieval Christian Philosophy. Section B. St. Augustine and the Problem of Evil. St. Augustine of Hippo, a seminal figure in Christian theology and Western philosophy, grappled extensively with the problem of evil, which remains one of the most enduring challenges in theological and philosophical discourse. His reflections on evil, particularly in the context of a benevolent and omnipotent God, offer profound insights into the nature of suffering, free will, and divine justice. Early encounters with the problem of evil. Augustine's early philosophical inquiries were significantly shaped by his engagement with Manichaean thought, which posited a dualistic universe composed of opposing forces of good and evil. Dissatisfied with this explanation and its implications for the nature of God and human agency, Augustine eventually rejected Manichaeism in favor of a more nuanced understanding within the Christian framework. Augustine's theodicy. Privation theory of evil. Augustine conceptualized evil not as a substantive force or entity, but as a privation or absence of good, analogous to darkness being the absence of light. This perspective allowed Augustine to maintain God's goodness and the perfection of creation, asserting that what we perceive as evil arises from a turning away from the divine good. Free will and the origin of evil. Central to Augustine's theodicy is the notion of free will. He argued that God created beings with free will, enabling genuine love and moral goodness. The misuse of this freedom by angels and humans led to the fall and the introduction of moral and physical evil into the world. Thus, evil is a consequence of created beings freely choosing to turn away from God. Divine justice and grace. Augustine addressed the apparent paradox of divine predestination and human free will by emphasizing the inscrutability of God's will and the role of divine grace. For Augustine, God's foreknowledge and election do not negate human freedom, but rather encompass it within the broader narrative of salvation history, where divine justice and mercy are ultimately reconciled. Impact on Christian thought. Augustine's reflections on the problem of evil have had a profound and lasting impact on Christian theology and the broader philosophical discourse on theodicy. His efforts to reconcile the existence of evil with the Christian understanding of a loving and omnipotent God have influenced countless theologians and philosophers in their own attempts to grapple with this vexing issue. Contemporary relevance. The problem of evil, as articulated by Augustine, continues to be a central topic in theological and philosophical discussions, particularly in the context of personal suffering, natural disasters, and human atrocities. Augustine's approach provides a foundational framework for contemporary debates on the nature of evil, the role of human agency, and the character of divine providence. In conclusion, St. Augustine's engagement with the problem of evil represents a pivotal moment in the history of thought, offering a nuanced approach that seeks to uphold the principles of divine goodness and justice while acknowledging the complex reality of human freedom and moral failure. His theodicy continues to challenge and inspire those who seek to understand the presence of evil in a world governed by a benevolent deity. Thank you for joining us for another Cognition Chunks. Please like and subscribe.